The key is on. The engine is running. The car is in drive. But you're not moving. Ever had a similar experience like that in life? Everything seems to be right, but you're not moving. Today on TC Talks, we're going to talk about releasing the brakes. Come on, let's get into it.
We got the passion, we got the drive. Regular people living real lives. And this is TC Talks. This is TC Talks. This is TC Talks. And this is TC.
Hey, what's up, good people? This TC here with another episode of TC Talks. You know how the saying goes, we're just regular people living real lives. I'm so glad that you have joined us for another episode of TC Talks. We're here, episode 13. Man, we are kicking and screaming around here, man. We're excited for what we're continually doing here on this particular platform. And I hope that something is said that will make your life just a little bit better. I want to welcome all those returning subscribers and viewers. And if you're new to the channel, new to the podcast, welcome, welcome, welcome. But as always, we want you to subscribe to the tribe, the TC tribe, that is. Listen, hit that notification bell and subscribe to the channel. And every time we drop fresh content, you will be the first one to be notified. Yeah, man, today's a good day. You know, it's always a good day when you're above ground. There is an option, but I don't know if you're quite ready for that one yet. I know I'm not. I got a whole lot more living to do, man. A whole lot more things to accomplish and impact to make. I got to make my dent in the universe. That's what Steve Jobs said. And so I just like that. Just want to quote him on that for a little bit. Yeah, make your dent in the universe. You know how you do that? Living out your purpose, man, and revealing your genius that God has given you. Your God-given genius is a gift to the world, and you owe it to us to show us your genius. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, man, you heard it earlier. Here on this episode of TC Talks, we're going to talk about releasing the brakes. Yeah, releasing the brakes. If you've ever had this experience, man, you hop in the car, you put the key in the ignition, or you press the button, whichever one you have. You know, we got these fancy cars these days, you know. And I got push start button on my car too, so, you know, I'm not left out of that group. But, you know, the key is activated, the engine starts. You put the car in drive. Seem like everything is absolutely right, but you don't move. Man, that's an unsettling feeling, right? You know, you got the right key. The engine is rumbling up under the hood. You look down, you see D highlighted. That means you put the car in drive, but you're not moving. Some situations in life are like that. I mean, you crossed every T, you've dotted every I, seemingly, and you put that thing in drive, and it doesn't move. No momentum whatsoever. I've had this experience happen to me, actually a couple of times in the car, and man, I looked, you know, the key, the engine is on, the key fob is closed so the car can continue to run, and I checked to make sure that it's in drive. And the car doesn't move. But guess what happened? I look in the corner and see the word brake highlighted. I'm like, well, why is the brake highlighted? Come to find out, the parking brake was still engaged. And that's why the car didn't move. Now listen, parking brakes today are not like parking brakes back in the day. You know, you had that little pedal down to the left hand side of your foot where you just push all the way down. And some cars still have it today, but most cars don't. Most cars are just a little slick little button you just push, and that's your parking brake. And then if you're parked on an incline somewhat, the car itself will automatically engage the parking brake to ensure that the car doesn't roll down the hill. Ain't that something? And so, man, I'm sitting there. I got the right key. The engine is running. I got it in drive, and the car ain't moving. And next thing you know, I had to reach down there into a little secret and just press the parking brake button, and it released the parking brake, and the car started to move. Can I ask you a question? What's your hidden parking brake that's causing your thing not to move? Causing your attitude not to shift? Causing your momentum to be stagnant? When you got the right degree, seems like you got the right position, seems like you're around the right people, but it's just not moving the way you thought. But we gonna get in it today on episode 13, and we're gonna help each other release the brakes so we can get the momentum we need to produce the success that we've been seeing for a long time. Yeah. Here it is. Y'all know I got my trusty dusty notes, man. It's always good to have a good little few notes just to talk with you so we don't ramble, so we can converse with purpose. Yes, converse with purpose, here on TC Talks, where we're just regular people living real lives. I love that song. Do y'all like that song at the beginning? I do. I like it. Yeah, I'm a little partial to it. It's okay. But listen, 3 things I want to talk about on this episode, and I believe it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you release the brakes in your life. Notice the car is just a metaphor. So I don't know what brakes have you in a place of stagnation that you can't move, and you seem like you've done everything right, but there's no momentum. There's no drive happening. First thing you got to do is you have to identify what's holding you back. Y'all got to excuse my my little slur today. Went to the dentist today. Yeah, I went to the dentist, man. Dentists, they can give you a pretty smile, but God knows, boy, that pain they put you through sometimes. Jesus, Lord, my. Woo! Anyway, back to the topic. I told y'all, man. I just like to tell you what real people do. You go to the dentist, man, I'm telling you, oh my God. And I got a wisdom tooth pulled about a few months ago. OMG. What? Ha! Thank God I ain't had to get but one, and I don't have to get no more. Anyway, why are we talking about that on this podcast? But anyway, identify what's holding you back, number 1. Let's identify what's holding you back. What do you mean by that, TC? Because something that's holding you back, most of the time, just like that little hidden button, that little hidden parking brake, that's really not out front. It's not really labeled blaringly because it's something that you don't use often. It's unseen. So some things that hold us back, we don't even see. So the first thing we got to do is we got to identify it. We have to identify what's holding us back. What is the hidden brake in our lives? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it procrastination? And this is a big one. Is it the weight of past failures? Good God, man. Is it the weight of past failures that's holding us back? That we got it, the engine started, we got the right key, we got it in drive, but the parking brake of yesterday's failures is engaged. I want you to find the wherewithal, the courage, and the tenacity to take the brakes of yesterday's failures off so you can experience the success of today. Yeah, you got it in you to do. No more spinning your wheels and wasting time and sitting in a place while the engine is running, while you are afraid of yesterday's failures. We got to release those brakes. We got to identify that. You know how we identify that is we get exposed to a new success. Yes. And watch this. Here's a secret. It doesn't even have to be your success. It can be somebody's success that you aspire to achieve and to accomplish. Yeah. Oh my Lord. I've learned to do it like this. I borrow somebody else's victory until I get my own. Woo! Boy, was that great? It was. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you got to do. You to get rid of yesterday's failures or past failures, man, you got to be exposed to a new success. Find something successful, someone successful, successful mantra, successful statement, successful programming, whatever, and get that in your psyche so you can release the brakes of the past failures of yesterday. Let's identify what's holding us back. Was it a bad relationship? You know, we're not just a spouse or a significant other. Or was it with your child, your son, your daughter? Was it with your siblings, your brother or your sister? Here's a big one. Was it with your parents, your mother, your father? Let's identify what's holding us back. Release that thing so we can get to moving, so you can get to moving. Yeah, your engine has been running long enough. You've been sitting in the same place long enough. Let's release the brakes. You can do it. Pull the lever. Let's go. Let's go. First thing you got to do, identify what is holding you back. Number two, we got to learn how to disengage the brakes. Man, look, we got to learn how to disengage the brakes. I have a car where the emergency brake, man, you really can't see it. I mean, you got to really know where it is, or you got to tell the person that's not familiar with your car where it is, because it's like up under a little hidden compartment, right? Like a little really hidden compartment. It's really down there. And I never forget, one of my assistants was moving my car, and they were out there for a while, and I just happened to look out the window, and I just saw them just kind of looking around, and next thing you know, I went outside and said, "Oh yeah, you gotta release the parking brake because they didn't know how to disengage it." And here it is, they found it, but they didn't know which way to push it to disengage it. Oh man. So when you identify it, now you have to know what to do to deactivate it, to disarm it, to rob it of its power of keeping you in the same place of stagnation, the same place of sameness, the same place of average, the same place of fear, the same place of procrastination. So I identify what's holding me back. Now I have to have the wherewithal, or watch this, or the education to disarm it, to disengage it. What do you mean by that? I got to understand how to release it. The Bible says this: in all you're getting, get an understanding. I shared this with the congregation Sunday. Paul says in the book of Ephesians, chapter 1, watch this. He prayed for the church at Ephesus. He says, I pray that the eyes of your understanding be enlightened or illuminated. Because awareness is completely different from accessibility. So watch this. I gave my assistant the key to the car, but because he wasn't aware of how to disengage the brake, he sat in a running car and couldn't move. Not because he didn't have access, he didn't have awareness as to how to disengage the brake. Woo, man. So yeah, you know what makes you upset. You know what makes you paralytic. You know what makes you fearful. You know what makes you get in your feelings, but you don't know how to disengage it. You don't know how to disarm it. And here's a couple of things that you can do to do that. Man, you got to have some tools. You got to get some wisdom. Bible is a great place to start. And then also an accountability partner, not a pity partner, an accountability partner. What do you mean by pity partner? Somebody who just wants to empathize with you while you're sitting where you're sitting and don't want to help you move. Mm-mm-mm. You got to have somebody around you or people around you that say, you're not destined to sit still like this. You got to move. You got to disarm the brake. You got to disengage the brake of your life, and you got to move because there's great things in you. There's great things ahead of you, and you got to get there. You got to get over this. You got to get some tools. What are some tools? Man, uh, uh, number one is meditating. Number one, on the Word of God. I told you this. If you are uncomfortable about talking about God on this podcast, you listen to the wrong one because I'm a Jesus boy all day long. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that. So number one, the Word of God. I got to give you Joshua chapter 1, verse number 8, God told Joshua, this book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night. Then you will deal wisely, make your way prosperous, and have good success. So meditating on things that are pure, things that are positive, things that are powerful, it helps you disengage the break of past hurts and failures. Yeah, it does that. Because you know what? You got to replace hesitation with confidence. Yes, you do. How do you gain more confidence? Rehearsal. This is just a rehearsal. Yeah, rehearsal. You heard the old mantra, practice does make perfect. And I tell people like this all the time. I tell my mentees, I tell them this, get your reps up. Get your reps up. Get your reps up. Let me say it for the people in the back. Get your reps up. Get your reps up. Practice makes you better. It ain't sexy. It ain't cute. It ain't going to get you a lot of clicks, a lot of likes, a lot of shares. But let me tell you what it is. It will perfect the craft that you have. Get your reps up. Because the confidence, it will thwart the hesitation. Hesitation. I tell you, the dentist done messed me up today. Y'all keep me lifted. I got a good dentist, though. I like my dentist, man. Here I am talking about dentists again. Their professionalism is amazing. But anyway, listen, and here it is. You got to shift beliefs that limit you. What? Yeah. Shift beliefs that limit you. That means, how do I shift them? I got to educate myself on things, watch this, that are beyond my current limits. Because if I learn beyond my current limits, I'll go beyond my current limits. It's not enough just to learn it, because watch this, part of the E3 framework, the last thing you do is you got to execute. I educate so I can execute. I educate so I can execute. And then this is what most carpenters follow the rule by, which you should follow the rule by. Listen, you measure twice so you can cut once. Yeah. So I make sure that I got all things together, because I'm going to make this cut. I'm getting ready to disengage this break. And we getting ready to move forward in this thing. Yeah. Release the brakes. You got it in you to do it. Release the brakes. Let me lean a little closer. Release the brakes, brother. Release the brakes, sis. You got it. Come on, let's go. I feel it. I feel it on the set. I feel it in this podcast that you ready to move. The engine is running. The tank is full. The key is in the car. You got access. Now it's time to execute. Yeah, it is. And number 2, I'm still on number 2, which is learn how to disengage the brakes. You have to adopt a growth mindset. Stay tethered to a teacher. Always, what? Did you see that? Always remain teachable. Have somebody that you respect enough that would teach you, that would challenge you, so the brakes don't re-engage again. Hope that makes sense. Last one, y'all, because I got a little time left. Number 3 is let's go back over this first. Once you identify what's holding you back, then you disengage it or you disarm it. Last one is this. You got to press the accelerator. Yeah, once you disengage the brakes, sometimes the car still doesn't move. Most of the time it doesn't move. And so you got to give it some power. You got to press the accelerator. What does pressing the accelerator represent? It represents execution. And when you press the accelerator, watch this, you're putting pressure to it. So what was trying to hold you can't hold you anymore, because you're putting positive pressure on it. And you gotta move. Lord have mercy. This thing just making me happy all day. You're putting positive pressure, not negative pressure. What's negative pressure? Removing your foot from the accelerator. You just wanted to coast. You don't want to ruffle any feathers. You don't want to make any noise. You don't want to get on anybody's back. But you got to put some pressure onto you. If you want to move, you got to put some pressure on that accelerator so you can release the power locked up in the engine. that gives you, watch this, breakthrough momentum, breakthrough power, breakthrough passion, breakthrough drive. You got it in drive, but you got to put some pressure on it. Yeah. How do I put pressure on it? I got to continue to practice. I got to get my reps up. I don't care if I don't feel it. I'm going to do it until I feel it. Because it's not the feeling that makes me do it. It's the doing that brings the feeling. Did y'all get that? It's not the feeling that makes me do it. It's the doing that brings about the feeling. And I do it so much that the feeling never goes away. That's why you feel great all the time, because you do great all the time. And that's why you feel motivated all the time, because you're doing motivating things all the time. Yeah. And so the more you think positive, you begin to feel positive. You begin to do positive. Yeah. People do things for one reason alone, because they feel like it. And the feeling is not generated, watch this, arbitrarily by itself in silo. It's generated by what starts in the head. What's in your head? Watch this. You got to take the brakes off in your mind first before they ever get off in your life. Yeah. So this is the momentum. It's going to carry you forward. It's going to carry you forward. What we're going to do, we're going to identify what's holding us. And then we're going to educate ourselves to learn how to disengage it, to find out where it's located. And watch this. Disengaging the brakes doesn't mean that you got to fuss it out. You got to be angry with it, and you just mad, and you just want to punch the brake lever. No, watch this. You can disengage the brakes with kindness. You can disengage the brakes with love. The button on the car, watch this. I don't even have to hardly push it. I just, just a light little nudge, disengage the brakes. Some people think they got to get straight hood, straight gangster, no, you don't. No, you do not. Save that energy for your creativity, for your next project, for your next plan, for your next boss move. Yeah. Save all that negative energy. You don't need no negative energy. Because you know what? Law of thermodynamics says energy cannot be destroyed but simply transferred. So if you got a whole lot of negative energy built up in you, let's transfer that to positive. And let it work in your favor. Right? A grudge ain't never added $1 to your net worth. But greatness will. We're going to identify it. We're going to disengage it. And then watch this. We're going to put pressure on it. We're going to accelerate. And we're going to generate breakthrough momentum that will never hold us hostage again in the parking lot of our past failures, or the driveway of our fears, or the garage of our procrastination. We out of here. We on our way. That's a stick. If you never drove a stick, you're missing out on stuff. All right, y'all. I hope that something was said or done to get you to release the brakes in your mind, whatever that is, so that you can feel it literally in your body, and then you can experience it in your life perpetually. I'm talking about a continuity releasing of the brakes. I'm not talking about a up and down, ebb and flow. One day they're on, one day they're off. No, I'm talking about an uninterrupted experience of brakes being released. So there is, watch this, unbreakable momentum generated in your life. All right, guys and gals, this is TC. And again, I hope something was said to aid you in releasing the brakes over your life, to experience the success that you were destined and created to do so by God himself. All right, y'all. Before I go, you know what I always say? Remember, live a life so that others can say. Now that right there, me and you, that is hope in motion. Have a great one. Until the next episode, I'll see you soon.